sir, it is.
Okay, and I hope that I'm audible as well. So the title of this presentation is Integrating SDG 4 Quality Education. I even added 4.0 to emphasize that we are living in a world with what we call Industry 4.0. A little description of this will come in later on. This integration with the Philippine Qualifications Framework Act. So meron tayong batas na ganito. So while we are saying na trifocalized tayo, but the Philippine Qualifications Framework Act is still trying its best to let our education sectors from basic to higher to TVET, to technical vocational education and training, to just one. So naisipan namin na i-present ito sa inyo to maybe refresh you, to give you another point of view on how we can deliver quality education. So yeah, this is our world. So as you can see, this is our globe, and education binds us all. Okay, so you can see there the Philippines, the ASEAN, the Asia, and then everything. And we are bound to commit. Okay, all UN member states are bound to commit to implement, to observe the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. This was launched in 2015, so it's now 2022, therefore mga 7 years na ito. And the projection of this is until 2030. So from 2015 to 2030, that's something like 15 years. And we are in the middle of this 15 years. So we have SDG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until SDG 17. So pag sinabi nating education for sustainable development goals, so that is ESDG. But take note of the fourth SDG, and that is quality education. So I need not elaborate all of this, but just to pinpoint that quality education, that is SDG number 4, is a commitment of all UN member states. Okay, and having said that, we are putting SDG 4 or quality education at the very center of the UN SDGs. And because it is at the very center, then lahat tayo ng mga teacher, sana na-appreciate natin, na-integrate na natin, aware tayo dito, pina-practice na natin na ito. So that is the challenge of education for sustainable development goals. Dahil quality education pinag-usapan natin, mapa-basic ed man tayo, or higher ed, or technical vocational education and training, isa naman ang tunguhin natin, di ba? And therefore, sana meron din tayong parang photographic memory about the UN SDGs, that is SDG 1 until 17, and then we know that SDG 4 is quality education. At tayo yun. So we may say as well that quality education or SDG 4 is at the very heart of the commitment of the United Nations with regards to the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. And we have laws that support quality education. In the Philippines, we have many laws. The most recent law right now that supports quality education is the Excellence in Teacher Education Act. So meron tayong bagong batas. And hopefully, mai-release ang kanyang implementing rules and regulations kasi malaking tulong ito para sa ating lahat ng mga pre-service teachers and in-service teachers. Okay? Another law is, of course, the K-12 law. Another law is the kindergarten law. We also have the GMRC and values education law, and many more. Aside from the laws regarding CHED, higher education, laws regarding technical vocational education and training. But as I have said, we have the Philippine Qualifications Framework Act. At iyon ang magiging i-connect ko yung PQF Act dito sa SDG 4. But before I proceed, okay, to further discussion and showing the integration of SDG 4 and the PQF Act, let us listen to the sharing of Miss May Sikat Saking. She's a Filipino and teaches in a school in Indonesia. She prepared a self-made legal framework for world-class quality education. So you will learn more about Miss May later in the parallel session, but sufficient that at this point, she has prepared something for us. So watch her video and learn something in it. It's something like 3 minutes, pero sana take note of some of the important details that she will present. So mag-stop share muna ako to give way to the video.
We are the world. We are ASEAN. We are Philippines. Legal frameworks. At the heart of the framework are the areas covered by the Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution and the enacted laws related to them. Then comes the integration of specific sectors in the article to the CIMEO Strategic Plan 2021-2030. In commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the United Nations, a declaration was made. The future we want, the UN we need, reaffirming our collective commitment to multilateralism. Lastly, the Sustainable Development Goals complete the framework with an emphasis on SDG 4, quality education. Indeed, the Philippines is ASEAN and global. We work for the PQF, AQF, and the International Standard Classification of Education.
Thank you very much, Ms. May. So may I resume my PowerPoint and then subukan nating himayin yung naibahagi ni Miss May. So what we're saying here is this is SDG 4 and it is quality education. And well, in my class, we already memorized what SDG 4 is all about in terms of its general description, and that is ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Sana tayong lahat magiging bukang bibig natin ito. It shall serve as our guide as we prepare ourselves, helping our schools, helping our communities. Kasi ito naman yung sinumpaan natin, di ba? Para magbigay ng isang dekalidad na edukasyon. Behind, everyone must succeed in the teaching learning process. Okay? Equitable because there should be, yun nga, inclusion and fairness. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng equity is inclusion and fairness. Hindi man pwedeng inclusion tapos hindi naman siya fair. Therefore, in the definition of PISA, for example, by the OECD, equity, education equity is about being inclusive and fair. So, yun nga. And after that, we promote the lifelong learning opportunities for all. So, sikat na sikat ngayon ang usapin ng lifelong learning. In fact, in the Senate and Congress, where I got a chance to present some position papers, there is now a bill about lifelong learning, and it is believed to say an addendum to the Philippine Qualifications Frameworks Act. Pero hanggang ngayon, hindi pa naman lumalabas. But given this slide on SDG 4, allow me to present the UNESCO's, ito yung framework ng lifelong learning opportunities for all by UNESCO. Okay? So tingnan niyo muna yung nasa yellow sa kaliwa. Tingnan natin ha. So kapag ang pinag-uusapan ay lifelong learning opportunities for all, which is called from the statement on SDG 4, then we have formal, we have non-formal, and we have the informal. That's the vertical one. Okay? And then the arrow on top, as you can see there, we have what we call the ISED, ISCED. ISCED means International Standard Classification for Education. So kaya meron tayong ISED 0, ISED 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I hope nakikita nyo yan. This framework is very, very important for us all to understand if we like to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all as a part and parcel of SDG 4 on quality education. So kapag ISED 0, that's early childhood education. Pag primary education, that is ISED 1. So essentially, early childhood education can can span something like kindergarten, and then pag primary education is let's say K2 grades 1 to 6 according to this. And then lower secondary education, that's our junior high school. And then upper secondary education is senior high school. Then post-secondary is at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until the doctorate. So I hope that you were able to get this message because this is coming from UNESCO as a framework which is an interpretation of SDG 4, particularly on that portion of lifelong learning opportunities for all. Aside from this, we can also learn from the way the ISED was classified. Kasi nga, meron tayong tinatawag na ISED noong 1997 and then ng ISED ng 2011. So what I presented in the previous slide is the ISED for 2011. So ISED is International Standard Classification for Education. So yung sinasabi natin na kung sa atin sa basic ed K to 12, tapos meron ding higher education. In fact, meron din siyang technical vocational education counterpart. And having said that, this is it. Diba? Kung sa Philippine setting, ito tayo. So, nandiyan si DepEd, nandiyan si TESDA, nandiyan si CHED. So, look at the ladder. And we all understand na we are doing this because we like our products, our graduates to be gainfully employed, okay, to further their education, to take middle level skills development, and become entrepreneurs. So this can be curriculum exits not only at the end of the senior high school, but also at the end of any training in TVET or any other educational attainment within college or even after college. Now, let's go back to this framework. I added another row, okay, just to highlight. There's a row there which said, okay, it's a qualifications framework, level 1, level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So, pag titingnan ninyo, medyo nagko-correspond siya doon sa ISED. ISED 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, there is a virtue in this lifelong learning opportunities for all because sabi ko nga, meron na tinatawag na batas na Philippine Qualifications Framework Act, that is the PQF. So, yung batas PQF, okay, ito yung tinuturo nito yung part ng horizontal na ito which looks like green. So that is the PQF levels. Okay? So, from here, nakikita ninyo yung interaction ng ISED at saka ng PQF levels. And we are saying that the entire thing of this is the SDG 4. So I hope nakikita nyo na at this point na merong interaction, merong integration ang SDG 4 and the PQF Act. Okay? So this is the PQF Act. It's the Republic Act number 10968. It is an act institutionalizing the Philippine Qualifications Framework that is from level 1 until level 8, and it looks like it corresponds to ISED 0 until 8. So bear that in mind because may mga arguments, may mga debate na pwede nyong i-engage okay, ang bawat isa para nang sa ganon ma-solidify yung appreciation natin ng SDG 4 at saka ng PQF Act. Basta yung Q dyan, qualifications yan. Pag sinabi natin qualifications, we are talking about the junior high school certificate, the senior high school diploma, the NC1, NC2, NC3, NC4 in TVET, and even degrees in college. Siyempre, the higher your degrees in college, the higher is your PQF level. At ang PQF na ito is nagiging tulay para sa AQRF, the ASEAN Qualifications Referencing Framework. But I'll not dwell on that here. Ang gusto ko lang na ipakita is the integration of SDG 4 and PQF Act so that kahit man lang after this activity, medyo naglalaro sa isip ninyo, paano yung haba yung sinasabi nila na SDGsizing? Okay? So SDGsizing, that is just a coined one, just to put emphasis on the effort to integrate the SDG 4 and the PQF Act in reference to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So this is it. Okay? So I tried my best to communicate a message na kapag nakita ninyo ito, sana iniisip ninyo yung pinakita ko kanina. Right? And yan. So this is the message that I like to convey in this plenary talk. at sana maging baon natin na ito if you like to further explore how this can be operationalized in your school, in your college, in your university, pwede ninyong kunin ito lalong-lalo sa mga nagtuturo ng professional education subjects, okay, at sa mga implementors ng K-12, ng TVET, at saka ng higher education, at saka ng lifelong learning. In fact, there's already a school in how do you call this, in Cabanatuan, the Wesleyan University, kasi I got the chance to meet them last 2 weeks ago, and they have a center for lifelong learning. And perhaps this framework is an important way to appreciate the lifelong learning. So another, of course, to put flesh, bigyan natin ng flesh yung integration. So dito sa kaliwa, ito yung mga targets and indicators ng SDG 4. 4.1, quality primary secondary education for all, early childhood and pre-primary education, equal access to TVET and higher education, skills for decent work, gender equality and equal access for all, youth and adult literacy, sustainable development, and global citizenship. Tapos itong tatlo na ito are support systems to the SDG 4.1 until 4.7. These are safe and inclusive learning environments, scholarships for higher education, professional development of teachers. My dear participants, our dear leaders, our dear school heads, itong nasa kaliwa, these are the SDG 4 targets and indicators na nag-commit ang lahat ng mga bansa sa buong mundo na kailangang mapagtagumpayan nating lahat. At yung nasa kanan naman, ito yung way of matching. Okay, kung paano siya i-match sa level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, until 8 ng Philippine Qualifications Framework. Okay? So, having said that, syempre, sa pagtuturo, kailangan of quality education. And therefore, we can see quality education in the learning outcomes. So the PQF Act has a definition for learning outcomes, and this is related sa basic ed. This is related to what we call the content standards, performance standards, and learning competencies, or even the MELCs. Sa higher education naman, ito yung outcomes-based education natin. Alright? And then sa TVET naman, learning outcomes din ang tawag. So sa PQF Act, whether basic ed, TVET, or higher education, learning outcomes should be defined very carefully. And this slide can also help us, okay, in reference to the latest Bloom's learning hierarchy. Siyempre, kahit sabihin natin, nandiyan pa rin si Maslow's need hierarchy. At titingnan natin ang integration ng PQF and SDG 4 sa lente ng Industry 4.0. Ang dami ng technologies ngayon. Okay? Right now, nasa hybrid learning tayo, flexible learning, high-flex learning. Ang dami-dami ng tawag dito. And this is the learning delivery in a borderless society. Okay? So, nandito natin mga gadgets. So, katulad ngayon, nandito ako, nag-iisa ako nagsasalita, but I know that we have teachers out there, principals out there, supervisors out there who are in one way or the other interacting with me. We are interacting with one another already here. And siyempre, ito yung mga sinasabi nating technologies, cloud computing, mobile technologies, machine to machine. Ang dami ng mga technology ngayon. So there's a quantum leap in the sustained technologies. Okay? And we all need them to be able to deliver quality education. But we understand that there is inequity. Kaya nga, ang SDG 4 is about equity, okay? Inclusion and fairness. Okay, so having said that, ginagawa natin lahat ang mga ito, SDG 4, PQF Act, kasi gusto natin na mag-improve ang buhay ng bawat isa. At iyon ang adhikain, iyon ay vision at ambisyon ng ating mahal na Pilipinas. Okay, that is Ambition 2040, and that is also promoting well-being, the quality of life of our families, of our communities, and the children, the learners, okay, that are being entrusted to us. So having said all of this, okay, there is one school in Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. I don't know if you know of other schools. Maganda na i-share ninyo yung mga karanasan ninyo. I got struck when I visited this school. Ang pangalan ng school is Amokokan Elementary School. Ang ganda kaya ng ginagawa nila patungkol sa SDGs. So, here is their principal, Mrs. Rachel Bungkad of Amokokan Elementary School. Isa itong nasa bundok ito, ang school na ito, pero very promising. Okay? Dito pa lang kitang-kita nyo na sa slide na ito na may mga ginagawa ang school na ito patungkol sa SDGs, SDG4. And we all know that SDG4 is leading to PQF levels. So at this point, let's listen to the sharing of Amokokan Elementary School through this AVP. So mag-stop share muna ako. Hello, Kenneth? What happened? Saglit lang po ha. May konting ano lang.
Yes po, just a little time po.
Okay pa ba yung AVP?
Recording it.
One team, one dream. Towards Sustainable Development Goal number 4. To access quality education.
Yan. Thank you very much. Palapakan naman natin ang Amococan Elementary School. Ayan. Okay, guys, virtual clap lang, di ba? So sana na-appreciate nyo yung effort ng Amococan Elementary School. And thank you very much to Rachel Bungka, the school head. I hope nandito siya. Hello, Rachel. Are you here?
Good morning, sir.
Yan. Kindly just pin her para makita natin. Pwede mag-on ka lang ng video mo, Miss Rachel. Paki-ano siya pa. Ayan. Ang liwa. Ayan. Okay. So, ang ganda, di ba? Congratulations, Miss Rachel. You have a very good and great story about the implementation or the integration of the 17 SDGs in your school, particularly the SDG 4. So ano masasabi mo na share natin dito sa isang webinar ang inyong practice?
Good morning po, sir, and my fellow participants in this seminar. Actually, elated po kami, sir, because sa dami ng mga paaralan sa buong Pilipinas, ang Amococan po ang nakita nyo na maging as example na mag-share about SDG. Actually, sir, as per experience, ito na po yung third year na isa po ako sa nag-a-advocate ng SDGs, yung 17 SDGs. When I always handle kasi, sir, ang multi-grade schools, and I experience na hindi sila masyadong familiar with the sustainable development goals. And I took the challenge, I took the courage to inform them about SDGs at kung paano ito tatrabahuhin habang ginagawa po natin ang
Thank you very much, Rachel, and to all the faculty and staff and the stakeholders of Amococan Elementary School. So at this point, allow me to continue my last few slides. Of course, magbibigay tayo later on ng konting remembrance ni Amococan Elementary School for this great initiative. So therefore, dear friends, I hope na medyo naging maliwanag yung ating pag-i-integrate ng SDG 4 at saka PQF Act. Of course, sa eskwelahan ni Rachel, kinder, grade 1 to 6 yon. Okay, syempre tuloy-tuloy yan 7 to 12 nandito naman yan sa Paima National High School. So nandyan yung PQF level 1 and level 2. Pero syempre hindi mabubuo ang PQF 1 kung hindi ka dadaan sa ISCED 1 0 and 1, and that is elementary education. Okay, so with that, tapos na po ako dun sa parte ng plenary talk ko on integration, and we are now moving towards the parallel sessions. But